So I've been getting a tour today
Yes,
of
ma'am.
Fire Station 1. And one of the things that I've kind of noticed just all around is there's space challenges, things are cramped. Obviously, there's infrastructure issues as well.
Yes.
And so can you explain like how all of that affects your response time?
Our dormitory here, like if we get woke up in the middle of the night, we're kind of shuffled into a very small and tight space. We used to have 2 poles here and one of them got covered up. It'd be nice to have a secondary option, but when you get 7 guys trying to all shoot down the pole at the same time, it takes a little bit more time to get down, and a lot of people will opt for the stairs, which increases our response times too. But we are located on a super busy street as well,
Yep.
being 4th Street. So our response times over the last year have been extended to get to our emergency calls that we have to go to, and being in a different location would definitely help us out as far as being able to respond quicker, a little bit less traveled street for us. Hopefully with a newer location, we'd be able to get out a little bit quicker and be able to get to the community faster.
Well, that's really important for me to hear because this fire station has been, I think, is sentimental for a lot of folks in the community.
Yes.
But we don't, I mean, in my mind, I'd rather be safe. And so
Yes,
hearing that
absolutely.
explanation helps. Tommy, will you remind me when this fire station was built?
So the station, I believe, was built in 1938, and
Okay.
it is the oldest operating fire station in the state of Wyoming today. So it holds a ton of sentimental value, I think, to the guys that have been here for a long time. My dad worked here for his whole career, and but truly, it's very old. It's gone through a couple of rehabs, and unfortunately, the box of the building has stayed the same size, and our department has grown exponentially in what we're required to do on a daily basis. And with hopefully getting some more staffing and everything added to it, we just don't have the space to house folks here. So
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Well, I think it's really cool, and you should be proud that you're kind of carrying on your dad's legacy working here. But at the same time, it has to be a little scary to know that you're working with some of that same infrastructure.
Yep.
Not to call your dad old.
No.
Sorry.
All right, so Kim, I think a lot of people don't understand the full scope of what goes on in this space. Can you tell me a little about what you all actually do here?
Absolutely. So here in dispatch, we are here 24/7, 365 days a year. We take all the 911 calls for the entire county, and we take all the non-emergent calls. On top of that, we dispatch for the police department, the sheriff's office, the city fire department, the volunteer fire agencies, animal control, the street department and water department. Their phones roll over to us after hours because we're staffed 24/7. What am I missing here?
We're like the hub of, if you can't find a phone number for anybody in Laramie, you call us, and then we have to transfer that number out to whatever entity it might need to go to. So we get all types of phone calls from utilities. Where do we get our paper delivered from? People know.
Okay.
Someone's going to answer this phone.
And you're answering that for all of Albany
For
County.
the entirety of
All
Albany
of
County,
Albany County.
plus
This room with these 4 chairs.
these.
Yes.
Wow.
And right now there's only, two minimum. We always have to have 2 people in here. We're trying to get the staffing to have 3 potentially 24/7.
Right.
But really and truly, there's only 2 people that are usually in here working the phone.
That's kind of wild to think about.
Yep.
You were saying that there would be some efficiency gains from being consolidated with the police department over south of town. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
So, so efficiency-wise in our radio communication, right now we have a lot of dead spots, so to speak, between any of the radios and any building, really.
Yeah.
So if our officers are at the PD working on reports, doing whatever they're doing, their radios don't work that well down there. So it's hard to get to communicate anything that we have going on.
Right.
So usually we're having to call them on the phone, multiple radio transmissions to get in touch. If we were in the same space, we could, stick our head out and be like, hey, we have a call, something like that. The efficiency in communication would be much, much better.
Gotcha.
So
Do you like the kitchen? Is it just get it done, or?
It does its purpose. It makes coffee, which is great.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of the bathroom being right off the kitchen. There are times that there's some weird smells that come out, and so when you're cooking your food, so it's a little rough some days.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or when people are sitting around the table, eating lunch, having a meeting, whatever, and you have to use the restroom, it's a little uncomfortable.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
What do you like about this space? Is it nothing?
Yeah. I like how we're able to just turn around and talk when it's a little bit slower. I do like that aspect of it. Beyond that, it's a little rough.
Yeah.
When the inmates get upset upstairs, they flood toilets and sinks, and it comes and drips in down through the ceilings. Our fresh air intake comes in from out here off the alley. So when vehicles, semis, anything like that park out there, dispatch has literally been carbon monoxide poisoned before from it. We've had to have the fire department come over because they have headaches, they're nauseous, they're vomiting because of all the fumes from the exhaust get brought in here.
Oh no.
So it's rough.
Do you feel separated from the police department?
100%. 100%. We get a lot of people that go to the police department, and in the vestibule down there, they pick up the phone because they need a copy of their police report.
Right.
And so just to tell them that you have to go to a completely different location to get a copy of their police report, it's really an inconvenience for the citizens.
Right.
And it's not necessarily fair to them.
Not
So-
the best customer service
Yeah,
we could do.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, as you can tell, it's pretty dim in here. All these lights, if we have them on all the time and on high, most of us get headaches. The natural light. We have our small little bulletproof windows here, but it would be nice to have a little bit of sunlight just so we don't get the headaches.
Right.
We don't have these lights. We've put up little drapery tapestries on some of the lights.
help.
It helps. But it still definitely is an issue. Another thing, it may not necessarily be an issue for Yancey, but so all the inmates are housed above us, and the windows overlook Ivinson, and we've heard from several people that the inmates know all of our schedules. So when we walk in and out of work,
Oh, they're watching
they
down
watch
out the
us.
window. I
Yep,
see.
and a lot of times
Okay.
they're knocking on the windows trying to get our attention.
Oh.
And especially when you work nights or when you come in and out and it's dark, some days it's a little unnerving for
bet,
dispatch
yeah.
to come in and out.
Right.
So it
right.
would be nice to not have that as well.
Yeah.
So we're here at the animal shelter. I've never been, so I'd love to kind of learn more about what you guys do here.
Fantastic. Are you familiar with animal control as a whole, or
Bits and
like any
pieces, but I'd
bits?
love to
Okay.
get the spiel.
Fantastic. So us as animal control, we do a little bit of everything when it comes to animals. So we take calls in the field. So in our community, we will reunite lost animals with their people. We handle any animal complaints as far as domestics go. So dog at large, found cat, injured animals, all the way down to barking complaints and feces complaints, any nuisance. We also deal with animal cruelty, as well as vicious animals as well. So we kind of run the gamut there. We also do a lot of education when it comes to wildlife aspects. Since we are in rural Wyoming, we have deer that wander through the park. We have raccoons that end up in chimneys, squirrels, that sort of stuff. So we help educate the public on how to cohabitate peacefully, but also when it's a nuisance or when they're sick or injured, we do coordinate with Game and Fish and help with those guys as well. We also work with rescues for those harder dogs, but there are times where I've got every kennel full, and I'm like, we need to move something. It is hard because we are open in mission, so we'll take anything that somebody needs to surrender. If they're inside Albany County, we will take them. So as far as functionality of the building, this is our kitchen area.
Oh, yeah, let's take a look
and
at that.
it is a small little galley kitchen, but it keeps our stuff separate from the animal stuff.
Yeah.
So we have people plates. We have not, we don't have vaccines in that fridge, because that's where we keep our lunches. We also have office storage in there too. So there are spare forms. There's folders. There's a bunch of extra paper products in there. So it's a multi-use kitchen based on the space we have available.
Yeah, I can't help but notice it's a little tight in there.
It is a little tight. It's you can get 2 people past at any given time, but yeah, it's not a true break room where we can just go and relax. Pros and cons, we have our staff lockers. Mm-hmm. They are no longer cat kennels, which is what they were before the remodel in 2007.
Okay.
So it used to be you had to come through, walk the dogs past the cats, which was super stressful. Also, some of the dogs really like kitties too much. So luckily, this now became, staff lockers, but it's still open to the public. So we have our little locks on them, but zero privacy for officers sort of situation.
Absolutely, I'm sure.
We have our isolation areas. So we can put sick dogs and cats, quarantine animals. I'll show you the mommy cat here in a minute. We moved her out of isolation with her babies up into my office to get more socialization, keep an eye on everybody. But as they go through the weaning process, we want to keep them social too. So it would be incredibly helpful if we had more separate isolation space to where I could do a mom with puppies in one space and then have a parvo puppy, completely separate, and I don't have to worry about crossover sort of situations.
Absolutely.
So you can see that they have their shelf. Every kennel has a shelf for them to get up, lounge on.
Yeah.
They've got some kitties prefer tight boxes because they're cats to lay in and hang out. They have the litter box, food, water, toys, those sorts of things. Keep them comfortable.
Not to keep harping on storage, but once again, it's looking like you're doing what you can with what you have.
Yep. So our lower kennels or our lower drawers are filled with canned foods. We had to go to that because our bedding with cat litter and fur and dander and that sort of stuff, you don't want that in your bedding down below.
Yeah.
So that is canned food storage, toy storage, that sort of stuff. And all the bedding is in bins up top. So as well as our safety supplies. This is a second visitation room. But this one started off as a storage closet. So we took a little storage away, but this gives us a second place for people to come in and visit with kitties. Because we frequently have more than one person that wants to look at a cat at any point in time. Or our volunteer can hang out with a cat in here while a family visits with kitties over here. So we've painted a mural, made it look as nice as possible, but it's still a closet.
Yeah.
It's tight.
It's yeah. Pretty tight in here.
We've got our janitor room, which is kind of an all-purpose. We've got cleaning supplies, the big industrial sink. That was original back with the building, the sink. That was an Army surplus sink that we've rebuilt a couple times.
Well, I hear there's some kittens in here.
There are. This is my office / the hospital ward / the maternity ward. We rolled the kennels in after the remodel. This was supposed to be just office space, but it didn't work for us. So as you can see, the built-in cabinets that have been here, and then we've utilized the space, storage, animals, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, packed in here just with this desk area here, I mean, do you feel as though you are as efficient as you can be space-wise or with?
Oh, definitely not. We run into each other all the time. I mean, it's great for communication. Like, everybody knows what everything's going on. But for privacy, if somebody's having a hard time during surrender, this is really hard, or we're trying to get information as to why, kind of the history of the animal while somebody's crying. It sucks for people to be crying in the lobby, and we have a group of Girl Scouts coming in to do a tour, and they're excited. And it's not fantastic. So at least being able to widen out these spaces, have, you know, maybe an adoption counseling office, or, you know, a space where we can have just a one-on-one conversation without everybody else in the lobby hearing that, would be wonderful. So, because it's especially surrenders or bites or anything like that, it is very stressful for the people that have to do it.
So, I mean, do you guys feel connected to the police department? You're a part of them, but, you know, we're kind of spread all over the place. Does that kind of distance you guys or separate you a little bit from them?
It does. You know, it's one of those, like, it is nice for us being close to the park, but also communications and feeling like the same department is very separate. So the other nice thing about moving, being more connected with the PD, is we won't have, like, the struggles that we have now with drainage and, you know, other deficiencies, I should say, in this area. Because the building is so old. You know, the plumbing is starting to fail. We've got leaks that we've had to fix over the last 2 years.
Operational efficiency being far from maybe dispatch, does that also affect
it does
function?
Yeah, we have to go down there, pick up criminal histories when we're running backgrounds for adoption applications, that sort of stuff.
So, I mean, do you think that there would be, you know, enhanced value and efficiency here with more investment from the community, like putting money into constructing a new facility or moving you guys closer, or making things more efficient?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So with that 3.6 million that's proposed for a new shelter build, that will help us immensely. Like, we'll have better storage facilities, we'll have better workflow. We will be able to do things more efficiently for the community.
Hey, I'm Jen. I'm the finance director at the city.
I'm Craig Lenhart. I'm a lieutenant here at the police department.
And we are so excited today to talk to you about some of the reasons why you're seeing $12 million on this next SPT ballot for Laramie Police Department improvements. So Craig, show us what we need to see.
So first I'm going to just take you kind of over here to our big open space. But as you can see back on that side, this is like the middle of the police department. Those are our interview rooms, to include our soft interview room. So anybody that we're interviewing, if somebody's walking through here having a conversation, can pretty much hear us in those interview rooms. So there's times where we're standing post, making sure nobody's walking through here being loud, because that obviously can disrupt, especially if we're talking about something sensitive with a victim of a crime. It's obviously something we don't want them is to feel like they're being disrespected with people being loud in this area.
So you have, I mean, you've got officers patrolling all day. You guys are out in the community all day. Why is the building so important?
Because I mean, it's outside of patrol, we have a lot of other things going on, right? Because I mean, our detectives are constantly in this building, our support services unit's constantly in this building, our admin, like all of our upper command, is constantly in this building. And again, like when we're conducting interviews, anything that's not done on the street is done in this building. And so having it functional for us is huge.
And you have a full investigations unit.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So
that includes, you have evidence around?
Yes, so we have an evidence building that's across the parking lot. So that's kind of another challenge is when we're walking across the parking lot, trying to, bad weather, trying to walk things across the parking lot, getting into that building, and then trying to process that evidence when we're trying to get over to there. That also creates a challenge for us.
Yeah, I know we can't talk about it, but I can't even imagine what's in that evidence storage.
Yeah, honestly, if you can think of it,
it's probably in there. Yeah, that's what I would expect.
So this being our multi-purpose room, so in here, this is where if we have any trainings, any outside agencies coming in to host, like we can host different trainings in here. This is the room we would use. If you can see, we have a white square on our wall over here. That's also for our TI machine. That's our simulator machine. So this is the only space we had to put it. So if there's a classroom in here, if a class going on, we can't use the TI simulator, which is a really, really good tool we have. So it's pretty much like a big video game, but really helps with our training and decision making.
What's a TI simulator for those of us who are not in
So
public safety?
it just gives us different scenarios. So we can put, especially our new officers, we spend a lot of time in front of this, using this equipment, because
so you're teaching decision making
because it's a program that we can actually adjust how it goes depending on the officer's reaction. So if they need to have better commands, we can actually utilize that during the training of the video and click a different pathway.
That's cool. That seems like a super important
Yes.
part of teaching folks how to police, which is
And
really difficult work.
The best part about this room is, which most people don't know, is if we're doing any kind of our custody and control training, our mat is actually hidden under here.
Oh,
So if we have some kind of custody control training, we open this up, roll out the mat, but obviously we have to take down all the chairs and tables, and then this space can only be used for that purpose. We actually open this space to the community too. That, I mean, Board of Realtors comes in. I mean, different people from around the community use this classroom, but we can't offer it up if, you know, the mat's out or we're doing training with the TI simulator. So it's just things like that. We would like to be able to host more trainings here because we actually have to turn down some community members that want to use this classroom. We just can't make it work if we're doing custody control.
So what I've heard is you guys kind of have a core set of needs. I think if I remember correctly, there's been like a public safety facility analysis or something that's been conducted.
Yes.
You know what we need. And that $12 million isn't going to pay for all of it. That's a scaled down version.
100% it's a scaled down version.
Of what we have been told that we need for a police department of our size.
Yes.
And so we're still going to be using some of those City of Laramie values, like being efficient, but it really is time for us to take a look at this space being not sufficient for you.
Yeah, and I mean,
your
we're
core
constantly
operations.
having that conversation as, you know, a city government that we have to be responsible with the taxpayers' money. But we are getting to the point where this building is hard for us to function in.
And this is an engineering building,
Yes,
right? This is not a police station.
This was never designed to be a police station, so it is constantly revamping the space to make it work for us, especially if we, you know, change our rank structure to who's overseeing who and all that kind of stuff, then we're trying to fill a different office space and maybe people sharing office space and making this cubicle work over here instead of there. It's a constant adjustment when it's not designed for what we need.
And hopefully with consolidated operations, bringing LARC, dispatch over with you guys, animal control, and really having this police services center that feels very different to the community, I would imagine.
Oh,
in the end.
of course.
Can
And
you talk about the difference and how that will feel?
And just so you kind of have a one-stop shop for anything
Yeah.
law enforcement related. And, you know, with the animal shelter, LARC, our dispatch, our records, and I mean, just flow of efficiency too. I oversee the animal control. So anytime I want to have a conversation with them, I'm getting in my car and have to drive over there. You know, so if I can walk across the building and have that same conversation, it's way more efficient.
You know, if we think about this corridor, this investing in this way is going to bring up this area of town, especially after, you know, Bart's came down. It kind of was a little bit strange over here for a while. I don't know if you experienced the same thing.
No, it is.
I'm over here all the time.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a little lonely on the south side of town, but you know, if we have all those resources right here, I think that'll be a huge improvement for the community.
I think it'll be a huge improvement too.